Wow. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Arsene Wenger is finally going to leave Arsenal. It's unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable. And you just don't know how to feel. Like, even though I've been calling for it for years, and a lot of fans have been growing frustrated and been calling for his head, it feels so weird. Like, all we've known, for a lot of us, all we've known is Arsene Wenger. And now he's gonna leave. He's someone that he was someone that was synonymous with Arsenal. You think of Arsenal, you think of Wenger. This is someone that, like, I started supporting Arsenal back in 2006, and for the first 5 years, I believed in him so much. You know, I took that man's word as gospel. Everything he said was just gold, you know. And I remember back in the day, I'd tell everyone, just you wait. Just you wait. We're going to be top of the world. We're going to be smashing Barcelona and Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, and we're just going to be kings of Europe. I had so much faith in him. And to be honest, there were reasons to believe. You know, he had us playing a very attractive football. He had us competing with the top clubs, with a much smaller budget compared to the others, you know, while we were paying off the debt for the Emirates Stadium. You know, we had a great squad of players. We had a great business model. I mean, from top to bottom, it was just, we were showing all the right signs. We were moving ahead. We were moving forward. But after 5 years, I stopped believing. I started to really question a lot of his decisions on the field and off the field, you know, and unfortunately, another 6-7 years after that, he didn't really prove me wrong, unfortunately. Yeah, he's won a few FA Cups, which is great, and credit to him for that, you know, but ultimately, we've not been even challenging, forget about winning the title, we've not even been challenging for the major honours for too long now, for too long. And, you know, he couldn't really use that stadium depth as an excuse anymore, so it was just inexcusable, and you had to admit at that point that, yeah, unfortunately, as much as we admire Wenger and appreciate everything that he's brought us, you know, it really was time to go. And like I said, I mean, there's so many things that you can talk about with Arsene Wenger, things he did right, things he did wrong, things that were outside of his control, because, you know, his failure wasn't just due to his mistakes, but even though he made a lot of them, trust me, and I could spend hours talking about them, but a lot of things were outside of his control as well. And, you know, one example of that I would like to touch on is the Fabregas transfer. I mean, for me, that's a clear example of in which Wenger was betrayed, and in which his plans were really kind of shaken up, and honestly just held us back a few years, honestly, that Fabregas transfer. Because with Fabregas, you know, he's someone that Wenger brought in at the age of 16, you know, and he put him in there, and he allowed him to play for the first team with the likes of Thierry Henry, the likes of Vieira, you know. He gave him the chance. He believed in him. He gave him the platform to go out there and make something out of himself, you know. He polished his talent. He made him who he was, you know. He built the whole team around him. He made him the core of the team. He made him the captain. He gave Fabregas everything. Everything. And how does Fabregas repay him? Fabregas repays him by going to Barcelona, the club that let him go in the first place, that didn't believe in him, that weren't going to give him the chance. At least no, not the way Wenger did, right? He goes back to them. That was very hard to take. That was very hard to take, and And it was very hard to recover from that. When you build the whole team around someone and you end up losing him, you know, it takes a lot to kind of rebuild and restructure, and that put a big dent in our progress, you know. Fabregas was just that influential, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I just felt like it had to be mentioned, because Wenger gets a lot of criticism, and rightly so, but he doesn't get enough credit on that front as well. That there were a lot of things that were outside of his control. But even, you know, it's funny, even the Fabregas transfer, I mean, you could say, you could even argue that it's partly Wenger's fault as well. I mean, the guy, he's such an idealist, he's such a humanist, you know, like, and it's a fact, he lets players go way too easily. But yeah, like I said, it's just, like I said, if we were going to talk about Arsene Wenger and all the mistakes and all the right things, it's just, it's way too much to get into in one video. But, you know, maybe it's an idea, maybe I'll make a series. But anyways, yeah, it's the end of an era, guys. It feels so weird, you know. And you wonder whose decision was this? Like, was it really Wenger's decision? Because everything about it seems like unlike Wenger, you know. He's a very proud man. He always talks about honoring his contracts, you know, and being committed and all this. And, you know, out of nowhere, this announcement comes, and it just feels strange, you know. And who knows? And even the timing of it, like, why now? Why is he understanding? I mean, he's someone that always says, judge us in May, and we'll reevaluate and reassess in May. So why is he coming out now? You know, you have to wonder if this decision actually came from the board, if they actually finally grew some balls, yeah, and finally took that decision that, you know what, Arsene Wenger, thank you so much for everything you've done, but you're gonna have to, you know, you're gonna have to leave at the end of the season because things have just not been looking good. And but either way, he's going, and most of us wanted him to go. Most of us realized that, you know, emotions aside, he was not the guy to take us forward. And in fact, in the last couple of years, we've been going backwards. So, yeah, you know, even though it feels weird and even though it's bittersweet, it's also kind of exciting, you know, because for the longest time after I lost faith in Arsene Wenger, and after all those batterings, you know, I honestly just, I mean, I still watch every single game. And I still follow the club. But there was nothing to get excited about, even when we make like big signings, because I knew as long as Wenger was in charge, nothing was going to change. And that's what happened. Like, I wish I was wrong. I wish he proved me wrong, you know, but that's what happened. You know, I used to always say, even if we got Messi under Wenger, we'd never win a major title. And unfortunately, you know, we got Sanchez, we got Ozil, we got Aubameyang. It's not worked out. Unfortunately, it's not worked out. But yeah, you know, it's not worked out, and like I was saying, I just couldn't get excited about our prospects winning major titles and all those batterings would take from the likes of Bayern Munich and even locally with United and City and Chelsea, even Liverpool. You know, I became numb to it all. You know, people would get angry and I got used to it. And I think that's a lot worse. And I've been numb for years now. Years. Because even attractive football we weren't playing anymore. That's one of the saving graces of Wenger at one point when we weren't winning anything, when we did have that trophy drought. We were playing attractive football. Now, even our football is predictable. Like, there's just nothing going right. There's nothing going right. And, You know, finally, I feel like this is a chance to look forward to something, you know? This is a chance to actually really like feel that passion again and like actually feel upset if we end up losing 5-0 to Bayern Munich. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's very strange, but yeah. So as far as who's gonna come in next, I mean, the announcement was made that they're gonna make an announcement soon, or that they're looking for an appointment and, you know, try to find the best fit as soon as possible and announce it. But I think the rumors are, the reports are that we're being linked with the likes of Joachim Low, with the likes of Tuchel, or Tuch, I don't know how you pronounce his name, but the previous manager of Dortmund, with the likes of Ancelotti. For me, I wouldn't really like Low, because, well, first off, I should say, I really want a modern manager. I want someone that's really, I mean, because with Wenger, he failed to evolve. You know, the game's evolved. It's not the same, you know, and he's failed to adapt. He's failed to evolve, and that's why I really want someone that's more of a modern manager. You know, someone like Guardiola, someone like even a Jurgen Klopp. I mean, what he's doing with Liverpool, right? I mean, yeah, he's not won anything with Liverpool yet. It has to be said that he's not won anything, but you know, they're moving in the right direction. They're playing amazing football, you know, and they're making all the right moves. And so, yeah, I really feel like a modern manager would be the what we need right now. But the question is, who is that guy going to be? I mean, my dream guy would be, and even though, ironically, and I'm going to contradict myself, maybe he's not the most modern manager, but my absolute dream would be Diego. There you go, Diego Simeone. Diego Simeone. He would be my dream, honestly, because, you know, after so many years of lack of organization and lack of defensive structure and lack of tactics, it seems like, because even offensively, like, our players go out and they just look lost. They look lost. Going forward or going all defensively, they just look lost. And after so many years of that, you crave someone that can actually give a shape to the team, you know? And I think there's no one better at doing that than Diego Simeone, you know? I don't know why it's so hard to say that. That name, Diego. It's not that hard. I think it's because, like, anyways, I'm not going to get into that right now, but this video is already getting a bit too long, but 13 minutes, damn, okay. But yeah, Diego Simeone would be my dream, yeah. And he's shown at the top level, you know, he's shown at the top level. He's beaten Barca and Real to La Liga. I mean, that says it all. The guy has shown his worth, you know, and I think he would do an amazing job at Arsenal. But I don't think, even if he was definitely available, even if he was interested in the job, I'm not sure that we would go for that type of manager. Just because, not that I wouldn't, I would love to have him there, but just because I feel like, you know, Arsenal will go for someone that, I don't know how to say this, but I guess someone that shows a bit more, like someone that's a bit more classy, you know. They want someone that will fit the image of the club, someone that would represent the values of the club in some way, you know. So I don't think that Simeone would really fit that vision, you know, and that's why I think they wouldn't go for him, which is a big shame, honestly, you know. So back to the guys that we're actually linked. So, but yeah, my dream would be Simeone, but we won't get him. And my second choice would be very controversial. For me, I say give Thierry Henry a chance. And I know it's controversial. I know people will say, well, you know, he has no coaching experience. That's a valid point to make. But look at Zinedine Zidane. Look at what he's done with Real Madrid. You know, he's won the Champions League with Real Madrid. Yeah. So why not? Why not Thierry Henry? Thierry Henry is someone that is a winner. Is someone that He's a legend of the game, let alone Arsenal. He's a legend of the game. You know, he's a French legend. He's an Arsenal legend. He's a legend of football. You know, he's won everything in football. Everything there is to win, he won. He's, you know, he's worked under some great managers. He's worked under Guardiola. He's worked under Arsene Wenger. You know, he loves Arsenal Football Club. He loves us as much as he's a very good politician, by the way, Thierry Henry. You know, a lot of people don't realize that, but he does love Arsenal. He understands what it means to wear that shirt, and he takes a lot of pride in being an Arsenal or being an ex-Arsenal player. You know, so why not? Not to mention as well that he's a big character. You know, he's not going to take no bullshit from anyone. You know, he's not going to be someone that's going to be afraid to get into the players if they need that. Like Wenger, unfortunately. Wenger, you know, unfortunately, he's always, like I said, he's too much of a humanist, too much of an idealist, and he never used to get into the players. You know, he's not known for that. But Thierry Henry wouldn't have a problem doing that. You know, he's dealt with big characters before in his career. So why not? Why not Thierry Henry? And as far as his coaching experience, yeah, he doesn't have a lot of coaching experience, but you know, he still coached for a short while. He coached the Arsenal youth team. Can't remember which age, but you know, he worked as a coach there for a short while, and he has some decent coaching experience with Belgium. So all in all, taking all of these things into account, everything I just said, why not Thierry Henry? Why not? I honestly think he would do an amazing job. But again, Simeone, Thierry Henry, these would be my suggestions and what I would like to happen. But do I think it's going to happen? Unfortunately, no. Who are we actually linked with at this stage? We're linked with the likes of Joachim Low. We're linked with the likes of Carlo Ancelotti. We're linked with the likes of Tuchel, if that's how you pronounce his name, the previous manager of Dortmund, right? As far as those three, Carlo Ancelotti, he's someone that, if you asked me that question a few years back, I'd be like, absolutely, 100%, yes, I would love Carlo Ancelotti, you know. Big manager, won the biggest trophies with different clubs. You know, why? Absolutely, I would love Carlo Ancelotti. But if you ask me now, I'd say no. Because like I said, I would prefer someone that's more of a modern manager. And Carlo Ancelotti's, you know, I don't think he fits that mold exactly. And he's been out of a job for a while. So, yeah, I'm not the biggest, I'm not the biggest fan of going in for Carlo Ancelotti at this stage. So yeah, that's as far as him. As far as Joachim Low, a lot of people are you know, calling for him as well. A lot of fans seem to like the idea of him taking over. But even Joachim Low, I'm not a huge fan of as well, because yeah, he's managed Germany, but he doesn't have that he doesn't have experience managing a football club at the highest level. And you'll tell me stuff like, but Thierry Henry doesn't, you still want Thierry Henry. I know, but with Thierry Henry, I already gave my reasons. Like, it's not, you know, I gave many reasons as to why he should take over. Whereas with Joachim Low, I feel like the only argument you could make is that, yeah, he's done a really good job with Germany. But again, it's just different. It's different. It's different. And yeah, that's my personal opinion about Joachim Low. So I'd rather him not take over, honestly. Finally, Tuchel. I think out of those three, I would go for him. He did a decent job at Dortmund after Klopp left, and I would classify him as someone that's more of that modern manager. And so, even though he's not proven it at the highest level, I would rather take a chance on him rather than the likes of Low or Ancelotti. But let's see. Let's see. Remember when Arsene Wenger first came? Nobody knew who he was, and he was a major hit at the beginning. So who knows? Who knows? What I will say is, whoever comes in, I think it'll be very hard to do a worse job than what we're doing right now. You know, a lot of people, like, well, not a lot of people, but you know, a lot of Wenger supporters would always say, well, how do you know if he leaves? that things won't get worse. Well, I always used to say, you know, how can it get worse? How can it get worse? We're finishing top four, top four, top four. I mean, I don't really care about finishing sixth as opposed to fourth. You know, what I care about is challenging for the title, like actually challenging year in, year out. I want to be challenging, you know. So if we're finishing sixth or seventh instead of fourth or third even, like, that doesn't make a difference to me, you know. So how can we do worse? How can we do worse? So yeah, that's it. You know, this video is wow, it's 20 minutes long, and that's not even getting into the specifics of a lot of things that have to do with Wenger's career. Like I said, that probably is a series or something, but, you know, at the end of the day, what we have to say is, merci beaucoup, Arsene Wenger. Thanks for the memories. You've given us some brilliant moments, some brilliant players to watch, you know. You've revolutionized the game at one point. You have everything to be proud of, and I hope that whoever comes in will be able to build on what you've given us, you know, and that you'll be able to watch us go on to win the biggest trophies like we've always wanted together. And yeah, let's hope that we can end the season on a high. How ironic is it that my voice went high when I said hi, eh? But yeah, let's hope that we can end the season on a high, and that we can give Arsene Wenger the sending off he deserves. Let's hope that we can win that Europa League and overcome Simeone and his team. Give Wenger his first European title, an actual trophy, not just being placed in the Champions League, but actually winning a European trophy, making history for Arsenal Football Club's sake, as well as his sake. Let's hope. Let's back the team 100%. And I'm sure everyone will now that it's been announced. I'm sure everyone's just going to go crazy supporting this team. And lots to look forward to for us Gunners. Let's do it. Come on, you Gunners!